The British Army has been contributing to Operation Tosca in Cyprus, a UN peacekeeping mission for over 50 years now. We're going to look at some of the incredible work that our peacekeepers are doing on this episode 2.
If you know nothing about Cyprus, you're in the majority. There was a clear division that ran 180 kilometres north to south of the island, which we now call the United Nations Buffer Zone.
We're currently on top of Ledra Palace rooftop. It's one of the most famous views in the whole of Cyprus. We've got Sector 1, run by the Argentinians in the far west, Sector 4, run by the Slovakians in the far east, and then Sector 2, the British sector, which runs through the capital city, Nicosia. What is unique to the buffer zone within Sector 2, the UK sector, is that the buffer zone is only about 3.7 to 100 metres wide. This hotel, built in the 1940s, became a tactical and strategic pinch point for both forces when, unfortunately, the intervention happened in 1974. The hotel has 5 floors and about 200 rooms. And up until 2018, it was British soldiers who lived in these 200 rooms, with the most junior ranks on the top floor, cascading down to the seniors and officers on the ground floor. What's really interesting about this hotel is that most of the bathrooms are original. So the 1950s avocado and lemon suites are almost in perfect condition. So Ledra Palace Hotel is technically inside the UN buffer zone, but we use it as a bi-communal space to try and broker that peace. This is the home for Cooperation Cafe, a UN-built project for all people on the island to meet inside the buffer zone, which doesn't happen anywhere else on the island.
My name's Second Lieutenant Tremelling. I'm a platoon commander on Op Tosca 41 in Sector 2. At Ledra Palace Hotel we have a variety of facilities. To my right you'll see the platoon office. Every day at 08:30 we have what's called the Tactical Operations Centre stand-up. A daily tasking could be on the guard room, making sure that the camp's secure, quick reaction force, which is essentially if something happens in the buffer zone that needs a bit more support, we have a whole section's worth of people who can react to that incident with the appropriate training. So those incidents have ranged from migrant camps flooding to fires, and they do have a public order capability if that's needed. We also have 2 gyms, so the LC gym and the main gym. A key part of our role is to make sure that my soldiers are fighting fit. That means that we have daily organised phys, organised by our SSI, our Staff Sergeant Instructor. PT is really important for us in Ops Company because it allows us to increase our physical and mental robustness and undertake our tasks in the buffer zone without needing to worry about exhaustion or tiredness, because we build it in camp. Now I've got to go, unfortunately. I'll be back. Bottom. And then moving on, we have the United Nations Police Station. So these are police officers from a variety of nations. They work very closely with the military side, which is myself and my platoon and the other platoons.
Today on this patrol, we're going to be working with
Volker from Germany and Aisha from Jordan. They are the lead when it comes to anything criminal, and today we're looking at potential smuggling within the East Area of Operations, Sector 2.
So we're sharing military knowledge and police knowledge. We also work closely with the British Army. Anytime when they see something, they report it, and UNPOL is on call, and we come out to assist. Theft, smuggling, any kind of smuggling, cigarettes, alcohol, drugs, human smuggling.
Working with the military and refugee camp, we work together, finding refugees, dealing with their internal issues, food, water. The good way to solve anything is communication.
There are currently 14 nations deployed with UNFOSIP, the United Nations Forces in Cyprus. Sector 1, manned by the South American countries. Sector 2, by the British. And then Sector 4, traditionally been manned by Eastern European countries, but at the moment Slovakian. Sector 4 is really unique because it has several very contentious areas. It has large rolling hills and valleys, but historically it's one of the widest areas of the buffer zone. So we have permanent patrol bases up in Sector 4, and British soldiers are embedded with the Slovakians.
So I'm part of MFR, Mobile Force Reserve, and we're the reserve force to support all sectors throughout the UN buffer zone, Sector 1, Sector 2 and Sector 4. We'll always have a rotation here, supporting Slovakians and their patrol base. Every week we get 2 new guys to come here. Peel is a pretty interesting point because we have a Turkish position, we have the sovereign base area, the SBA, which is UK owned, and the Greeks as well, all meeting at a point.
This is the Pila Plateau. This is one of the places where the MFR deploy people in Sector 4. What's strange about this area is you've got Decalia Station, not far away, which is where one rifles are based, and then Akrotiri, which is where one PWR are based. Although we're all British soldiers out here in Cyprus, we're doing completely different jobs. We're on a UN peacekeeping mission, which is very soft posture. We don't have helmets and body armour, let alone weapon systems.
From this post, we observe our Turkish position and Greek position. We are monitoring situation in buffer zone. Every day, we control permission from farmers and other people. We try to make peace in this island.
There's lots of animals in Cyprus, and lots of my troops have rescued strays from the buffer zone. People have rescued cats, and Ledra Palace Hotel has its own cat charity. I'm not too sure what it's called. I know there's a register for the cats. I think it's actually down by our HQ. I think it was even last week that 2 of my soldiers rescued puppies.
And this place collects wild dogs and just looks after them. Because in Cyprus there is a lot of wild dogs. This is like a heaven for them really. They get fed every day, walks every day, and it's just run by volunteers. So it is really good. This dog came to our position and she was really friendly. She was there with us for about 2 to 4 days. She fell ill. We informed this place here and luckily they took her in.
So I've actually adopted a dog. The gas bottle gate op, which was where the refugees were. By the end of it, I went and saw her in the dog adoption centre, put on a lead, and she was just so good. And then I fell in love with her. My little boy would love her as well. She's a feisty little one, but she's got a lovely, lovely temperament. So when I get back, I'll be flying her out home.
We're deploying to the riot control soldiers, which we have on the island as part of the Mobile Force Reserve. They're going to be donning body armour, helmet, riot shields and batons to conduct some training to prepare potentially some of the kinetic elements of the UN tour.
Today we are conducting public order training to ensure that we're able to deploy effectively to reinstill peace. It is kinetic, aggressive but controlled to hone in our skills and to ensure that we're highly effective and ready to deploy at moment's notice to any situation. We have to ensure that we're trained in case a man gets grabbed away, which we're well skilled and versed in, and we can deploy anywhere within the buffer zone in support of other nations that support the UN mission in Cyprus. We are a force that's held at high readiness and we can respond to any incident which may arise in the buffer zone.
So far we've looked at sectors 2 and 4 of the United Nations mission. Cyprus is in the heart of the Mediterranean, and we're going to go look at some of the adventurous training opportunities that are available to our soldiers. Specifically, we're going to be looking at kayaking and mountain biking.
The Tosca Regimental Adventurous Training Team take us out for a week. We can either do rock climbing, kayaking or mountain biking. Adventure training is one of the best ways to build your mental resilience and pushes you outside your comfort zone a lot. We've practiced all of the rescue drills, be it deep water rescues, tea rescues where they use your kayak to launch themselves back up, and we've done rolls where you're rolling over. We've explored around the coast of Cyprus, looking at all of the sea caves, wildlife. If you want to do AT anywhere, it'll be out here in the Mediterranean. It's getting close to us flying back, and it's nice to do a bit of AT as a nice finisher to the tour.
As we come to the end of our 6 months here on Operation Tosca 41, on behalf of the United Nations, the UK has had a standing commitment for over 60 years. Both regular and reserve, we reflect on how we have actually implemented the Army's strategic importance in Cyprus. It's easy to think that this problem will never resolve itself, or that the Cyprus issue is a frozen conflict. However, having spoken to the civilians on both sides, they're grateful